Hey guys, it's Candace.
And it's Elena.
And you're listening to Cousins on Crime.
I'm good.
Good. It's great to see you.
Yes.
How have you been?
Good.
Are you disintegrating from this heat?
Yeah.
Just so you know, we're going to talk about the heat every time.
Every week.
And I just got back from Las Vegas, so I'm going to be talking about that heat.
What's crazy is, okay, what time? So at like 12:30 noon, I went to the store today and it was blazing hot. I was sweating. And then just like maybe an hour and a half later, it was like breezy and cool, about to rain.
Because the clouds rolled in.
Yeah. And I was like, if it could just be like this for the remainder, but now it's hot again.
Yeah, that's Texas for you.
Ugh.
Very fickle. Vegas felt like I was wearing a sweater over my face.
Like you were in an oven.
Like I was literally in an oven with a sweater over my face.
Yeah, I can believe that.
But yeah, it was fun. Other than that,
desert. The desert heat.
Indeed, we were definitely deserted.
But did you have a good time? Did you relax?
Yes, I did. I relaxed a little bit. I was by the pool, and I had good food. I had good company. I went to the Museum of Ice Cream.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. I saw really that cool picture of you like playing in the sprinkles.
Yes. So they had a sprinkle pool and me and my best friend's daughter, we went down the slide at the same time. Well, the slide was metal. So it's not made for 40-year-olds or 41-year-olds. So
were you wearing shorts?
I was wearing shorts.
Did your skin go?
No, I had like my knees tucked up, but the slide was soldered so that it was a curly slide. So there were 1 million seams in the slide. Mm-hmm. So my spine, my hips, my elbows, every bone in my body hit each seam as I went down the slide. And Dusty was filming it and I like literally rolled out of the slide like off to the side as if.
And her daughter just like.
Yeah, and she was just like, wee. But yeah, it was fun. So you get unlimited ice cream with your ticket, which nobody can eat.
Unlimited.
Very much ice cream.
Okay, I mean, but is it vanilla? Is it chocolate? Is it swirl?
They had every kind of flavor. They had Dole Whip.
Oh, really?
Thank you very much.
And
They had strawberry pineapple soft serve. They had chocolate and vanilla soft serve. They had cookies and cream. They had mint chocolate chip. Just every flavor you would be interested in. Mm-hmm. And then the topping bar was insane. I mean, they had every single topping, including freeze-dried sweet corn.
Freeze-dried sweet corn.
Freeze-dried sweet corn.
On ice cream. What flavor would you put that on?
That's what, okay, so I was having a conversation with her other daughter and we were trying to think of what you would even, and I said, butter pecan. Like, that's the only one that you could maybe get away with it because it's like, I mean, buttery.
Maybe it's one of those things where it's don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah, but neither one of us were willing to try it, so.
Well, I think you should have because when in Rome, right?
Yeah, but they had like these coolers of ice cream bars that you could just go in and get an ice cream bar. They had all these little rooms. Me and Dusty got matching tattoos on our wrists. Oh. Fake tattoos, of course. But you just, like, everything was quote unquote free. I mean, you just go in and turn the knob and all the tattoos came out. And What other, they had, you could reach in, and just grab candy out of these little clear boxes, and
I need to go here.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I knew there was one in LA and I've seen it on social media, but this one just opened in Las Vegas. So if you're ever in Vegas, give it a try. Not sponsored, but it was fun. So
Will do.
Yeah, so that was fun.
You're going to do it again sometime?
Yeah, let's do it again sometime. Okay, bye guys. Bye. 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 Oh, just quickly before we get started on this episode, before I forget, we're going to be taking the next couple weeks off, guys. Daniel's family's coming in from England, and I really think it's important to focus on that. Lena's got some things going on for the rest of this month, and I think we should just probably focus on family during this time.
Yeah.
But you know what? Why don't you join our Patreon?
Mm-hmm.
$5.
Yeah.
You can listen to all our extra content that we have. We've been doing it for a couple years now.
Mm-hmm.
So there's lots of good extra content there. We've done discussions. We hope to
we need to do more.
We hope to do more in the future. Yeah. So the last Patreon episode we did was a really wild case about the Carmen family deaths. So yeah, join our Patreon and you can listen to bonus content while we're taking a couple weeks off. And then we'll be back with a brand new Patreon episode in August and a brand new episode.
Yeah.
For the week.
And we'll be refreshed and ready to go. And
we'll be rip-roaring ready to go.
Yeah. So sorry, guys. I know we get told every time. That y'all miss us, so and I appreciate that, but
maybe we'll try to post a little more on social media during those 2 weeks so that you can at least maybe see our faces.
Yeah. Anyway.
I really do want to post more on TikTok. I've enjoyed that because it seems like TikTok's where it's at. All the cool kids are over there.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to work it still, but
I've never even signed up for TikTok, so I have no idea. When
I've posted on our account, I get lots of interactions, which I really love because I love hearing from other people. Mm-hmm. So I posted a couple of videos about Tanae. She was found hanging in a tree on I believe it's June 18th. I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong, but the police instantly ruled it a suicide, and they're not saying really much more than that. I think the public is really up in arms because I'm just going to say it looks like a lynching. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know any other way to say that. And I feel like the Black community is very concerned. I was very concerned because I saw no press about it.
Right.
There was no large outlets. I had seen a couple little Facebook posts that someone else had shared. And I thought, why haven't I heard about this? And anyways, some of her family does believe she took her own life. Some of her family is like, no.
So that's tough when you have that.
It's really tough. So, I think our instinct is to go, oh, okay, they know something we don't. Mm-hmm. However, I'm still not satisfied because the police aren't saying much more. I hope they don't need to come out with it. That's fine. But I pray to God that they've shared enough information with her family that that they have some sort of peace about it and they can move forward. I've actually been looking to see if I can contact any of her family members, but all the posts that are about it haven't been from her family. Oh. So I'm kind of digging around and I'll find it eventually, but I would really love to reach out to them and
I would like to know more about her. The only thing that I've heard of her is your posts. Yeah. So I don't even know the story of how she got there and all that. And
there
how
were
she
many
was found.
People that didn't know about it until they saw our post. So
well, hopefully you can find out more and then tell us about it.
I would love to find out more about her, even if she did take her own life.
Right.
She lived a life. She was a family member. She had people that loved her. So, yeah. So anyway, but I hopefully maybe we can do some more social media stuff. It's It's not for me, but
yeah, I'm not.
I know you guys love it, so I'll try to be better. So, anything you want to say at the top of the sode before we get into it?
I think we've said enough.
Everyone's like, yeah, just get on with it, would ya? Well, the case I have for you today, we're going to England. I miss England. I want to be there sometimes and just be there.
Speaking of England, we've got FIFA.
Well, I know. England won. So I'm watching the score and it was 1-1 for like the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we got home, I was like, I saw that it was in overtime and I was like, we need to turn the game on. And so Dusty was like videoing me watching the game because I was like so anxious. I was like, I'm not cut out for this.
Yeah. I mean, that's how Daniel.
I was like clenching my butt cheeks, but we won.
I know every time they win, it's like, I'm texting Daniel, way to go. You know, like, woohoo.
Yeah. And then so as you're listening to this on the date it airs.
Yeah.
The next one is today.
Yeah.
So
go England.
Go England. So in honor of England, I thought I would take you there. May 31st, 1953 was a beautiful Sunday in Teddington, England, which is a suburb of London, if you didn't know. 18-year-old Christine Reed and her friend, 16-year-old Barbara Songhurst, had spent the whole day together, bouncing back and forth between each other's houses and taking their bicycles for a ride. That evening, they rode their bicycles to where their friends were camping off the River Thames. Everyone was pretty hyped because Queen Elizabeth II's coronation was due to occur in just a couple of days.
Oh, big time.
Yes. So the collective atmosphere was one of joy and celebration. And just a little something about the English. If there's something to celebrate, they're going to celebrate it. Like if the sun's out, the buns are out. You know what I mean? So you got to love them for that. After spending a little time with their friends, Christine and Barbara said their goodbyes and headed off on their bikes shortly after 11 p.m. But the girls would never make it home.
Oh, no.
The following morning, when Barbara didn't arrive for her shift at the chemist, which is a pharmacy in England, they checked with her parents to see if she was running late or maybe she was sick. Who knows? As you can imagine, the phone call left Barbara's mother, Gertrude, a bit confused. You know, Barbara didn't come home the night before, so her mom just assumed that she had stayed over at Christine's.
Oh, no.
Oh, I thought you were hurting.
No, that hurts me.
Oh my gosh. She was like, oh, she looked like she was in so much pain.
I grabbed my chest because no, it's the feeling of thinking that your child is somewhere else.
Yes.
Oh no.
I know. And usually if Barbara didn't come home, she would be at Christine's house. So naturally she calls up Christine's mom. But this phone call turned her curiosity to worry when she learned that Christine didn't come home either.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know how parents did it back then because
Lena,
when the boys are gone late.
I think about it all the time. Why did my mom?
Yeah.
I mean, my mom's not an anxious person. She's not. Just by nature, she's not. But she did have rules. She's chill. Guys, just quickly, when we went to Vegas for my sister's birthday, we asked my mom if she wanted to try some CBD oil, and she's like, no, I'm chill. Anyway, so I still think, how did my mom just let me ride my bike?
Oh man,
everywhere? She couldn't see me. She didn't know really where I was or whose house I was at.
Yeah.
I just was bouncing around the town.
That's what I'm saying. How did they do it? And like Grayson is 20 and I'm like, he's still at my house and I'm like, where are you at? You're not home.
I know.
And I'm looking at Life 360. Oh man, I don't feel like I'm an anxious person, but when it comes to
your children.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know how they did it back then.
I don't either. And these women knew their daughters. as responsible young ladies. And if no one had seen them since they took off the night before, something was very wrong. Barbara's mother called the police to report the girls missing. Luckily, authorities sprang into action and began looking for the girls right away too. They seemed just as concerned as the parents. Along with police, local residents joined in the search around the towpath by the River Thames, where the girls were known to be the night before. The towpath is like the main walking path that goes along the river.
That makes sense.
Uh-huh. And so police found the 3 boys who were with the girls at the campground the night before. They liked these boys. Mm-hmm. They liked boys. They were just, canoodling. No big deal. Nothing to see here. Yeah. They kissed and stuff, but that's all that happened. Mm-hmm. So these boys were telling the police. They gave them a little bit more information, but really it wasn't enough to point them in any one direction. Barbara and Christine visited with their friends for a little while. They were talking and playing games until it turned dark, and then it was time for them to head home. Now, the girls mounted their bike. These boys said they watched them get on their bikes. Barbara didn't have a light on her bicycle, so one of the guys lent her his light so she could have it on the way home.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know, isn't it? He's a keeper. And with that, the girls pedaled away about 11:10. So they seemed to really know what time the girls left. A couple who was sitting alongside the towpath also remembered seeing the 2 girls pass by them about 11:30. So not sure if theirs is completely accurate or the boys' is completely accurate. But this couple seems to be the very last set of eyes that were laid on the girls that night. Nobody seemed to have any account of seeing them after that. These girls were not wildlings. They were just typical teens having fun. Barbara Songhurst was born April 29th, 1937 in Teddington, Middlesex. She was one of 8 children. Another report said that she was one of 9 children. Either way, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's a lot of siblings. And she was very close with her family. Her parents were lower middle class, very hardworking, though her father was not able to work anymore at the time of her disappearance. Barbara was a very happy and outgoing teenager. She loved music and dancing. She especially loved cycling. At just 16, she began working at the chemist as a chemist assistant and had saved up to buy herself a new bike. I think I read she paid 17 pounds for it, which is wild. But it was the 50s,
Yeah.
But like everyone else, Barbara was so excited about the Queen's coronation and had even entered a bathing beauty competition that was part of the celebrations. This is what I mean. When there's something to celebrate, I mean, all these businesses are going to, have certain ads run, and it just gets everybody proud and amped. So her interest in music, dance, and cycling, those are the things that drew her to Christine Reed. And they became very close friends in the year leading up to their disappearance. Now, Christine Rose Reed was born March 18th, 1935. And she lived in Hampton Hill near Barbara. Christine came from a working class family, though sources kind of make it sound like she wasn't doing as well financially as Barbara's family, which I don't think really matters. Christine worked in a factory as a machinist and helped her family by earning money to pay the bills. She was described as quiet and kind and not as outgoing as Barbara. In fact, she was pretty shy, but she was very beautiful, so she was always getting attention. The day before they went missing on May 30th, the girls had attended a bebop dance with friends in Twickenham. I'm going to get reamed if I'm not saying that right. The 2 danced and laughed and went back to Christine's house for the night. I read one report that said another friend had joined them and left in the morning, but I'm not really sure about that. So the next morning they got up, they had breakfast before popping out over to Barbara's house. They went out for a bike ride. They came in for tea. They popped back out. They went to Christine's house. This reminds me of us when we were kids.
For sure.
Getting on our bikes. We go over to my house. We go over to your house. We go get a snow cone. We go up to Mott's.
Yeah.
Get
load up on candy.
Go get candy for our trip to Mississippi.
Oh, man.
Make a list of things to pack. They were just kids. They were just normal kids.
Doing whatever they wanted.
Doing
living
what they
the
were
life.
doing. And this is why, like, I mean, I know it was a different time back then. Their parents, being out till 11, that was late for them, but their parents trusted them and they knew they always came home. They didn't just not come home. They stopped by Christine's house that night about 7 p.m. before taking off to the campground on their bikes. Now, these girls had a lot of freedom to come and go. The location, Teddington Lock, which was where the campground was along the Thames in southwest London. It is a recreational space. I bet you'd love it, Lena. It was a popular destination for Londoners, especially in the spring and summer months. Again, something about the English. I said sun's out, buns out. Mm-hmm. But in the warmer months, you can catch everybody outside. How about that? You can catch everybody on the streets.
As you should.
Sunbathing in their gardens. They just love the sun when they can get it. So the warmer months, people are out camping or glamping.
Oh.
And at Teddington Lock, you could not only sunbathe, but there was fishing, boating. You could run or walk along the towpath. You could watch the barges go through the lock. It was like one of the most shallow places where I don't pretend to know how it works, but there were barges. Okay. They went through there. Okay. So during the day, it was very bustling. And at night, while I'm sure there was still lots of celebration going on and many people staying up and carrying on, some areas in between the campsites were more desolate. So it's not some place you'd be out, walking in the woods in the dark. The towpath that runs alongside the River Thames, of course, had the river on one side. However, in the 1950s, the opposite side was just trees and overgrowth. There were many stretches of the path that were poorly lit or not lit at all. And they certainly didn't have surveillance cameras or even emergency phone boxes located periodically throughout the park. Or, I don't know, do you call it a park? So maybe it was great for walking, it was great during the day, but you want to be back at your campsite at night or home. And we know the girls didn't make it home. They didn't make it home because they weren't able to make it home. And soon everyone would learn what happened to them, because at 8:15 a.m., before the search had even scaled further than just asking people a couple of questions, a man named George Coster happened upon a gruesome discovery.
Oh, gosh.
George had been riding his own bike on the same path that the girls had the night before when he saw a body floating face down in the river near St. Catherine's Convent in Twickenham. This was a little over a mile from Teddington Lock, and I'll post I took a screenshot of Google Maps and I'll show you where they were and where they were found. Authorities would later positively identify the body as 16-year-old Barbara Songhurst. 16 years old. Police followed the blood from the towpath through the grass to the bank of the river, where there was definite signs that there had been a struggle. There were items of both Barbara and Christine's clothing scattered about.
Oh my gosh.
And this struck fear in the heart of the detectives that not only was this a sexually motivated crime, but they'd most likely find Christine in the same condition. The River Thames was dredged for several miles that day looking for Christine. They did find her bike, but after a full day of searching...
In the river?
So I read one place that it was in the mud up against a gate.
Oh, okay.
And then in one place I read that it was found in the riverbed. So... there was a lot of conflicting information on this case because it's one of the most famous solved cases in Scotland Yard. So but I did my best to verify that all this information is correct. So wherever they found her bike, they did find it. They just didn't find Christine.
Heart-wrenching.
Yeah. It wasn't until 5 days later, on June 6th, that Christine's body was discovered near Glover's Island, which was only 1.5 miles from where Barbara was found. So I'm not sure when they did the dredging why they didn't find her at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she was stuck in something and they didn't see her or whatever it was, but it took them 5 days to find her. Now, when news broke that 2 young girls had been murdered the day before the Queen's coronation, it really dampened the celebratory mood. You know, the red, white, and blue bunting still hung in shop windows along the high street, but the feeling of English pride almost felt wrong, knowing that there were 2 dead teenagers, and worse, killer was on the loose.
Well, yeah.
There's that.
Mm-hmm.
So the girls' autopsies uncovered just how horrifying their deaths really were. Dr. Keith Mont performed their postmortem exam at Richland Mortuary. And when he received Barbara's body, the most notable injury was a deep cut on her cheek.
Oh.
Yeah. So he wrote in a medico-legal journal about this case, and he explained that drownings in the River Thames were not uncommon. So this was something that happens especially in the warmer months because people are swimming in little... I've never wanted to swim in the River Thames. But I'm usually there when it's cold. So,
right.
But yeah, so he said he sees a lot of drownings, but the incised wound on her cheek didn't look consistent with any sort of fall by accidental means. But what they did know was that this wound was inflicted while she was alive, because the gash had bled quite a lot, dripping down the front of her face and into her jacket.
Oh.
So this also revealed that after this wound was inflicted, she either stood up, was upright, or maybe she was sitting up at the time. According to a newspaper article from Mirror Australia, Barbara was stabbed 7 times and Christine at least 19 times with a large knife. Dr. Mont found grass in some of these stab wounds.
What?
Isn't that insane?
Well, I mean, that just shows that a struggle had to have happened.
Yes. So both of the girls suffered blows to the head with an instrument believed to be a hatchet or an axe.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Lastly, and certainly not the least of it, they were both sexually assaulted. Each of them had plenty of defensive wounds, though, on their hands and arms that let everyone know they fought for their lives. There was one more significant piece of evidence that was found in the postmortem exams, fibers from under Barbara's fingernails.
Okay.
Little fibers. They may not have had all the answers at this point, but they did know one thing without a doubt. These girls were murdered by a monster, an unhinged individual. Dr. Mant said it was the work of a maniac, a monster as strong as an ape.
Oh.
Yeah. They even thought there could be 2 perpetrators because given the evidence, I mean, they had 2 weapons used in this crime.
Well, and to control 2, I mean, yes, they were teenagers. I don't know how big they were, but to control them both.
Sure. That's exactly right. And you have 2 victims. They're in this wide open space, but because there was no sign of Barbara's bike, they found Christine's, they never found Barbara's. They inferred that the killer likely used it as a getaway.
Mm-hmm.
So if there were 2 assailants, why wouldn't one of them use Christine's, one of them use Barbara's?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Instead of discarding one of the bikes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
This is what made them feel like there was just one. It's reported that Duncan Webb, who was a reporter for News of the World, came up with this one perpetrator theory. After presenting it to Detective Herbert Hannum, he was surprisingly met with reluctant optimism. Detective Hannum was this no-nonsense, straightforward, get to the point type of guy. And imagine some reporter going up to him and being like, I think I have this idea. And he's like, well, we don't go off ideas. We go off, facts. So he's like, but I'm listening to what you're saying. But how could one person manage to kill 2 women? This was not an enclosed base. It's not like he broke into someone's house and there's only so many places. This is by the river. I mean, this is in wide open space. So the reporter says, what if the assailant threw a knife at one of the victims to take her down before going to attack the other one? And he's saying this because Barbara had stab wounds in her back.
Oh.
So what if he threw the knife at her back, she fell down, and he went and grabbed Christine? It's an interesting theory. I don't think I've ever heard something like that kind of far-fetched used, but it could explain why there was a knife wound and the hatchet wound or some sort of axe.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. So let's just hang on to this. It's a little bit wild, but let's hang on to it, put it in our back pockets. Now, due to the sexual assault, police wanted to look at the recent rapes in the area.
Right. I'm sitting here thinking, what has happened in the last 6 months to a year in the area?
And we know rapists be raping. They can't help themselves. So if you've got these sexual assaults and murder, perhaps they've been doing this before.
Right.
Maybe not the murder part, but maybe they've been...
It escalates.
Yes, exactly. So there was a rape of a 14-year-old girl 1 week before the girls were found murdered in Oxshott, and another 2 weeks after the girls were murdered near Surrey. Now, during this attack, people were reporting that this man was taunting and terrifying women in the area, and they described him to police. In fact, they picked up a man that was just kind of wandering the streets that night, but they didn't have anything against him, so they let him go. Thankfully, the police wouldn't need to wait very long for a big break in this case. In late June, a motorist picked up a hitchhiker, and there was just something about him. This guy's like, oh, I shouldn't have picked this guy up. But his description fit the rapist that was on the loose. So he notified authorities. The man he picked up was identified as Alfred Whiteway, a man known to police because he was the guy they just picked up and let go.
No way.
Yes. At the time, when they picked him up, they thought it was suspicious that he was walking around at night, when these women were being attacked and taunted and...
Yeah, like, did you see anything?
Right.
Why
and
are
he
you
was
out here?
Really nice. He
Of
was
course.
super nice, cordial, and polite. And they were just like, well, this doesn't seem like our guy.
Isn't that so freaky?
It is. I bet being one of those officers that interacted with him, you just go back to that night and you just think, wow, what if I had done things differently? Or what if I would have scrutinized that a little bit more?
Right. And to think of the manipulation on his part.
Right. But now they're thinking, this is our guy. Not just for the couple rapes in town, but for the murders of Barbara and Christine. Now, Alfred Charles Whiteway was living with his parents, his mommy and daddy, in Teddington. He was married, but he and his wife were separated at the time. And Alfred had an eerie tie to Barbara Songhurst.
Oh, really?
Yes. Alfred had dated Barbara's sister-in-law, June.
Oh, no.
And June's sister had attended school with Alfred, also dated him, and thought she was going to marry him. Yes, both of the sisters dated the same guy, from what I understand from reports. Even weirder, Barbara's own brother, Danny, knew Alfred. And when police went to the Songhurst family and asked them about Alfred, Danny said, "He's a great guy. no way he could be involved in my sister's murder. In fact, Alfred's ex-girlfriend, June, also said that he was kind and considerate, and she really could say nothing bad about him.
Okay.
They did, however, explain that Alfred did carry a Gurkha knife. Do you know what that is?
Gurkha?
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 It's...
No, I don't know what that is.
Gurkha. The Gurkha knife. It's like a brand or a specific type of knife. And police are like, oh, let's hear more about that. Go on.
Mm-hmm.
And so they learned that Alfred could throw a knife and split a matchbox from 30 yards away.
Shut up.
According to Crime Investigation UK, another witness added that he could throw a hatchet and hit a chalk line on a tree from 40 yards away. So he was quite the marksman when it comes to playing with these weapons that he had.
So interesting.
Mm-hmm. This was a shocking detail to Detective Hannum because now he's thinking, we have a knife thrower here. What in the world?
Let's revisit this idea.
Yes, exactly. Now, June 18th, a patrolman, he's cleaning out his car. And he finds this it's a little axe slash hatchet type of weapon in it under his back seat. And he didn't know where it came from. So naturally, instead of asking people in his department, do you know, is this anyone's? He put it in his locker.
Oh, okay.
I guess he liked the look of it. I don't know what he's thinking. He's certainly not thinking about this recent murder that could have involved a hatchet or an axe.
Oh, man.
He's not thinking. Now, this patrolman gets sick. And maybe he wasn't thinking because he wasn't feeling well. I don't know. But he got sick and he was immediately gone for like the next 5 days at work.
Okay.
So he didn't come back. 5 days later, he comes back to work and it's in his locker. And he's like, oh, I'm going to take this home and use it to chop firewood.
No.
Yes, he did.
No.
Yes, he did. Guess who was in his patrol car June 17th, the night before he found it? Alfred.
Alfred. Oh, wow. Okay.
Alfred.
So Alfred gets in the car and he is like, oh, I need to get this hatchet off of my body and
I guess
I'm going to hide it right here.
Yes, I guess so. He just put it under the back seat of the patrol car and they let him go. And so he just left. And so they're getting this information about Alfred having this hatchet. And they go to this patrolman and said, did you see anything in your car? Was there in there? He's like, oh.
Oh, could you imagine his heart sinking like,
oh,
like I just used that.
Right.
To chop some wood.
Yeah. So he brought it back, of course. But this was a devastating blow to the case because now this item believed to be one of the murder weapons was severely contaminated. The patrolman's fingerprints were all over it. You know, he'd been using the blade, so it was very dull.
I would hate to be him. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But they did have something that I've never heard done in any case that we've covered. They took the axe to the medical examiner, who then put the blade in one of Christine's head wounds. He took an x-ray of it, and it was a perfect fit.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying this has never been done. I just think this is really out of the ordinary that they would place the murder weapon back in one of the victim's wounds. Perhaps this was like their Hail Mary, or they were grasping at straws here, thinking that we need to convince a jury that this is the murder weapon. So this is the step they took. Now they bring Alfred in again for questioning. First time they had let him go, he was fine. This time They're asking him about the rapes in the area.
Okay,
Asked him.
Can we go back to the guy who picked him up when he was hitchhiking? So did he say what was weird about him, where he took him?
No.
He just contacted police and was like, this guy was really weird.
Yeah. So I'm not really, I don't know much about this guy who picked him up, but he seemed to think, oh, he fits the description of the guy they're looking for. Maybe Alfred said something that made him think. Maybe he was picking him up from a certain area and taking him back to a certain area. I don't know what it was, but
he knew he needed.
He nailed it. Yeah.
Wow.
And if he hadn't, who knows? Now, again, Alfred denies being a part of the rapes. He said, no, I told you guys when you picked me up the other night, a couple weeks ago, I don't know anything about it. And then he, of course, denied being involved in the murders of Barbara and Christine.
Well, yeah, of course.
When Superintendent Hannum pulled out the hatchet, and placed it on the table in front of Alfred, he went as white as a ghost. And he admitted it was his. He even complained about the condition it was in.
No way.
He said, well, I kept it very sharp. Because Alfred was using it to cut people and the police officer had blunted it using it to chop wood. So he relaxed his body and he said, quote, you know bloody well it was me.
Oh.
You know bloody well I done it. What a bloody mess. I'm mental.
No.
I must have a woman. I can't stop myself. End quote.
Oh, no.
Alfred said that at first he only saw one of the girls coming down the path as he came around the tree. He said he immediately whacked her in the head with the axe. It wasn't until this moment that he knew there was another girl with her because he heard her screaming. Then he chased her down and stabbed her. There wasn't talk of throwing a knife. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but he didn't confess to that. So he said, quote, I nipped over and shut her up, end quote.
Oh my gosh.
He told police that one of the girls knew him and that if the other wouldn't have screamed, he wouldn't have had to do what he did, which was total BS. He told police that he was mad, not like mad, like angry, but like mentally mad, and that doctors wouldn't do anything about it to help him. So he's trying
I think you have to kind of be to do something like that.
Well, yes, but he's trying to diminish responsibility here in this case. But he signed his confession and his trial was set. Alfred was tried at Old Bailey in October 1953 before Justice Hilberry. His attorney, Peter Rawlinson, put Alfred's estranged wife on the stand, and she testified that she was with Alfred the night of the murders at the exact time the police believed the girls were murdered.
Come on, lady.
She said, quote, he asked me what time it was. It was 11:30 p.m. And then she started crying.
Oh my gosh.
Clearly lying.
Perjury.
Yeah. The defense claimed that the detectives had manipulated and coerced the confession out of Alfred, and that Alfred didn't know what he was signing when he signed his confession.
Oh, come on. They
also called into questions the method by which they obtained the confession. And they must have had something to say about that hatchet and that whole situation.
Oh, yeah.
They've got him on that one. Defense won. But the prosecution had much more. Much more. And their case was too significant to deny. I didn't see any reporting about the knife, like whether or not they were able to retain that as evidence. But they did have the hatchet. They did have that x-ray of Christine's head, as well as tying the murder weapon to Alfred's confession. They found the girl's blood on Alfred's shoes. There was just no way they could deny. After only deliberating for 1 hour, the jury found Alfred Whiteway guilty of both murders. The defense, of course, appealed right after the verdict, but it was denied and at Wandsworth Prison in December 1953.
Really?
Yeah, that's how they did it back in the 50s. Just hang them up.
Whoa.
Now, this case is, like I mentioned before, is known to be one of Scotland Yard's biggest, most notable achievements as far as solved case goes. In fact, they have the hatchet displayed at the Black Museum in Scotland Yard. But let's not forget there were 2 teenage girls that were murdered in this story. Barbara and Christine were just a couple of ordinary girls interested in music, dancing, boys. They had their whole lives ahead of them. They didn't get a chance to choose one of these boys, to be their partner, their husband, or have a child, or travel, or settle down in the town that they were raised in, the town that they rode their bikes in. Their lives were cut short by a madman who disguised himself as a good guy. I mean, I can't imagine thinking back to people you've known and going, but he's such a nice guy.
Right.
Like, he was so nice.
Like, where did it go wrong?
He did.
What happened?
Well, he had that dormant deviance. It was always a part of him, but he hid it so well.
Well, and he hid it so well the night they questioned him.
Right.
The night of the murders. I mean, how it's so freaky to me that you can, in one moment, murder someone and then the next completely manipulate and just hide the monster. Did he not have blood on him, or
not? So the night they picked him up, he was,
it wasn't the night of the murder.
It wasn't the night of the murder. They were questioning him about the rapes in the area.
Okay, I misunderstood.
And something I didn't mention, which might have been confusing when I was telling the story, I just thought of it because this is what good storytellers do. They don't put them in their notes, So they had done a search of Alfred's home and they couldn't find the hatchet. They didn't find the knife. They didn't find these weapons that the witnesses had said he had and were really good at using.
Okay.
So that's why they asked the patrolman if he found any weapons in his car from the night he picked him up.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's like, actually.
He's like, yeah. So that's why they thought maybe when he got picked up, he left it in the car on accident. And what police officer finds a weapon in the back seat where they put the criminals?
Right. Why in the world would a weapon be back there?
Tell you what, I got some wood at home, needs chopping.
Kind of like this.
This is
little tool.
Yeah, this is a great piece of kit. That's what he would have said.
Like,
because he's English.
This, I mean, yeah, I don't know. The choices. You have a choice.
And like I said, maybe because he was off for 5 days being sick. So maybe he was really sick and he was delusional. But then you think when he comes back to work and he sees it in his locker and he's like, oh, I better ask somebody about this. Being that 2 girls were just murdered.
Bless his heart.
Yeah. So I don't know if he ever suffered repercussion for that decision. It seems punishable.
Well, yeah.
By some means, but
like, let this be a learning lesson. Like,
right.
If you find something like that in the back seat, you might want to tell somebody next time.
I mean, it was the 50s, so maybe much more laid back then. I mean,
sure. I mean, you don't have stuff like this happen every day.
True.
So,
true.
I mean, you got to live and learn, I guess.
Mm-hmm. But that's all I got for you on the murders of Barbara and Christine, unfortunately.
Oh, sweet Barbara, sweet Christine had their whole lives ahead of them.
So sad. They seemed like such cool girls. They were like yin and yang. But yeah, It's really sad.
Fly high, girls.
Rest in peace, ladies.
Well, that was great. Let's do it again sometime.
Let's do it.
Bye.
See you in a couple weeks, guys. Love you. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Cousins on Crime. If you're enjoying the show, please rate and review wherever you listen, and consider joining our Patreon for bonus episodes every month.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook for case photos and to stay up to date with the latest C on C news. If you have a case suggestion or just want to tell us how cool we are, email us at cousinsoncrime@gmail.com.